Do you find yourself between the students asking themselves how to write a fitting problem statement for my thesis? Well, this is what we will address in the video post from today from my Thesis Academy. I know writing a good and an outstanding problem statement is essential for your thesis and for a convincing impression for your reader. But even though there are a few details and some issues that you need to keep in mind that you need to consider at the moment when you work out your problem statement. So first of all, we want to understand the function, and we want to know what it is and what it takes to create yours. Imagine that the problem statement is the key passage where you explain the significance of your investigation to the reader. So it will help, yes or yes, to illustrate the contribution of your thesis and to clear the famous question, the so what and why does it matter? Even though it contains a number of key components and yes or yes, it needs to follow up on a logical red thread and, well, it should be very conscious. Let me start with the components. So within the problem statement, you need to address your research question. You also should present in a very condensed form the essential aspects which the topic involves. And you also should illustrate precisely what your research and your topic is about. So what it deals with. Then you also should clarify the gap of research and the problems that you attack. And you also should showcase a little bit your plan of how to solve the question, how to approach your gap of research from the methodological point of view. After all, to finish your problem statement, you also should include some final thoughts and your opinion on the matter. Well, these are a number of aspects, and even though the scope of a problem statement should not exceed a page or a page and a half. So last but not least, everything which you need to include, all the key components, should be drawn out with a few paragraphs. You also should keep in mind that there are different types of problem statements. So you can approach from the theoretical point of view. You can also take a practical approach. Well, just let me clear the differences of the two main types, so the theoretical and the practical one, and get over to the challenges and also the solutions for the story. So if we start with the practical one and how to develop a real world problem and a problem statement which attacks from the practical side, you should ask about some concrete and precise details of the situation you are talking of. For example, where and when did a certain problem arise, and also who is affected by this problem from the practical point of view, in the real world. Then you also should leave some words about if the problem also, if anyone already tried to solve the problem. This is also important in order to clear the gap of research. If you prefer a theoretical issue, then remember that the relevance is a little bit different from the practical approach. So here you need to identify very clear why the problem matters and why your research matters. So try to explain to the reader how you will resolve the problem and what is your understanding of the topic. And you also should keep very clear and explain what benefits will your research provide for future projects of investigation. And well, last but not least, to give it a little practical touch and well, and let it shine, and also to make clear why it is not only a theoretical problem, but why it also matters for the real world. You also should explain a little bit about the direct or indirect consequences for the society, for example. So, what are your challenges and how can we solve them when you work on the problem statement? So, first, if you want to write a solid and a very effective one, then it is important that you provide concrete and concise formulation of the story. So, keep it condensed and put the things together. Well, in a nutshell, keep it as short and as precise as possible. Yeah, at the moment when you identified a gap of research and when you figured out a relevant research question, then is the next challenge to approach the solution of the problem for your research. Here, you need to be very attentive and to press attention on the differences between the problem statement and the introduction. There are some similarities, but there are also some features and some differences. For example, the problem statement provides a more technical point of view, and you can see it as a, let's say, more formal interpretation than the introduction in comparison. Your challenge, if you want to write a strong and an outstanding one, is that you first start to contextualize the problem. So, what do we already know about it? What is known about this specific issue? So, you need to provide some background knowledge, but attention, keep it short and precise. Then you also need to explain the issue in question itself. So, what do we need to know about it? And then you can get over to the highlight. So, you can highlight your research problem's relevance and make sure what is the particular, the specific, and the significant. Well, what else is important? You also need to describe your objectives. So, what will you do to find it out? And, well, just let me drop some words on the key elements and features between, which join the different interpretations and definitions of a problem statement. So, yes, it should be very clear and precise and specific when explaining what will be studied. So, the issue and the aspects which are part of your research topic. Then you also should make very clear what is the overarching question. So, what is the red thread of the story? And you also need to identify briefly the crucial concepts and terms which are relevant in order to solve your research question. Another issue that enters is also the study boundaries. So you should highlight not only the contribution and the benefits, but also set some limitations. And this is very important. You should avoid unnecessary slang or wordiness or whatever. So this is a style feature that you also should keep in mind when you work on your problem statement. To put it together and to sum up a little bit the main features and characteristics, and drop some considerations and recommendations which help you to perfect yours. Just let me mention the following key issues. So, first, please keep in mind that your problem statement should frame your research problem by presenting it in its specific context. The background information is very important and makes the reader understand, not only the relevance, but also how did you approach and how did you find your gap of research. Then there are also some components that you should add to your problem statement. For example, you should introduce your title, and you also should state your hypothesis. So your personal, individual opinion. Well, last but not least, please keep in mind that you sum it up and that you condense the things to the essence and to keep it short and concise. I hope that the post on how to write a problem statement was helpful for you. If you liked the video post, then please subscribe and give us a like. And you also can find detailed information and other posts and articles all around the questions of thesis writing and how do you craft your dissertation on the blog from My Thesis Academy. And for sure, if you need specific help, then you are always free to reach out to me. Thank you for watching and enjoy your day.